Or we could all just meet up at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, we could, but the Grand Canyon sucks. It's just a big hole in the ground. Just ask my dad. And by the way, we're live here on YouTube. Welcome to the Random Kristian Show. Here's some music that I'm trying to play. Yeah. And nobody can hear it except me because today is all about reinvention. And, oh, it came up quite right. Come on, feel the noise. So I think that's actually kind of appropriate for a random song to just be pulled up off my iPod. Yeah. All right. So that's good times. And I don't know why. And nobody understands the music I'm playing except for people listening and me. So, yeah.
This band and or solo act was really good back in the day.
So today's subject. Oh, by the way, Matthew, Brian, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Glad to be here as usual.
Yes. And Lyle, yeah, welcome to the show. Yeah, thanks for waking up from your nap and screwing up everything on my new soundboard. All right, so our little topic for today was about reinvention and reinventing yourself, or people who, even famous people that we've known that have reinvented themselves and either come out on top or bottomed out. And I don't know why this popped in my head. I guess it's because I'm trying to redo everything here in the studio, and apparently not having much success. I'm going to say that. It's rather pathetic and sad, and it matches me quite well. No. So we're still having some problems. Right now, we are partially coming through the soundboard, and it sounds great through my headphones. But I guess we did a couple tests, and Matt, you said it sounded pretty good on YouTube, right?
It did. It didn't sound bad.
Okay, so it didn't suck. All right, we're ahead of the game.
Although you pressed the back button, you probably ruined everything.
I probably did.
And then we hung up, and you made some phone calls. So
yeah, because we were trying. Just trying to be technological, and so anyway, and Brian has returned from his ventures through the West and whatnot, and sounds like it was a great time, and you got to go surfing. So hate you, and
yes, I did. Lots of it too.
Dude. Yeah, it was a good swell and stuff, or what? Or just typical?
There were some decent waves considering it's summer in Southern California.
I was going to say it's summer, so it's not going to be that great. So, okay. Topic at hand was reinvention, and okay, Quiet Riot. We can bring them down now. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Quiet Riot. You've been quite the righty quiet. So, God, I wish you guys could hear it because we actually sound so good, at least through my headphones. It's amazing. Sounds
fantastic in your head, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. So do all the voices in my head, but let's not venture down that rabbit hole right now. I guess, like I said, I was just kind of inspired from doing all this reinventing and of my simple little setup that I had here that has now gone way. I'm sure I'm overthinking it, but it's far more complex now than I had imagined. And of course, ordering the right stuff would have probably helped the first time. So now I have to wait again and order the actual correct stuff. But, I started thinking about like comedians and stuff, and like actors and actresses that have really reinvented themselves, like Robert Downey Jr., and obviously he had his addictions and whatnot, but to come out,
he bounced.
Yeah, to come
bounced
back
pretty good.
Yeah, and
yeah.
Him, like a guy like Nick Nolte did for a little bit, and then not sure what happened. I think he just went straight off the deep edge. and not like Gary Busey straight off the deep edge, but close. I think he went into I don't know, some kind of nether region, but whatever. And then comedians, you get guys. There's guys who get stuck in a rut. I mean, well, you look at guys like well, Adam Sandler, I guess he kind of reinvents himself in a way. It's really, he's one of the weird ones that I don't get, because he kind of
he does whatever he wants.
Well, yes,
is what I think.
No,
he just, at this point, I think if there's a project he wants to do, he'll do it.
Right, but I mean,
and he doesn't care.
I think he started out as just total pee pee poo poo jokes and very immature humor, but we all loved it. And I mean, I still do, not gonna lie. So, but then like he all of a sudden then he did that movie Spanglish and stuff, which was more of a, I guess it was more like a romantic comedy, but it was more drama in a way too. It was kind of, it had a serious twist. And then and like Will Ferrell's done the same thing. He's done some very serious roles. He did one movie that was more like a drama, but it was just kind of trippy. And
that one where he's living the life of a story someone else is writing.
Yes.
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah. Have you ever seen that, Brian?
That's a great movie.
I'm not sure that I have. I'm kind of the odd guy that has not seen a ton of movies. I don't know why. First of all, I'm a cheapskate, so I don't go to movie theaters. And then, second of all, I just rarely I rarely take the time to go to like a Redbox or whatever and watch a movie. I'm too antsy to sit down and watch a movie half the time. And that's kind of how I am. So there's all these super popular movies that everybody talks about, and I'm like, never seen it.
Yeah.
So,
but
I was thinking about people. So here's a reinvent that you probably wouldn't have known about. Did you know that Tears for Fears started off trying to be a ska band?
Huh.
What? No.
Uh-huh. I will try to find the videos of them playing and send them to you, and then you can chuckle for yourself. It's pretty hilarious stuff.
God, I would love that, because I mean, and talk about a band who reinvented themselves. They started out as this total like emo,
emo goth type band. Almost.
I was gonna say almost goth, and then they just like did a total 180, and everybody was like, "What is it? Who is this?" And they had that Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and they're like,
everybody wants to rule the world and head over heels. Yep.
Yeah.
That's a great album. That's one of my favorite all time.
That's the one. That song's from The Big Chair, right?
Yeah. And that album's so good. And their previous album, I have friends that go, "Oh no, the earlier stuff's better," and I think it's all right. I think Songs from the Big Chair
Well, and that's the thing. The album just before that was dark, and it, I mean,
their debut album was very dark.
Yeah, and the song "Mad World," for God's sakes, all around me are familiar faces. I mean, every dream. What is it? Every dream I have, I'm dying. I can't remember the line right now, but. Yeah, it's just okay. Well, I'm ready for suicide, and but it's a happy pop song. So I never got it at first. I mean, it's an interesting song. It's got great melody and yada yada yada, but it's so dark. And then they're all of a sudden they've got this Songs from the Big Chair, and they're happy shiny people, and they've been hanging out with REM, and I don't know. I Michael Stipe had some kind of effect on them, and they're all dancing and wearing paisley, and everything is, a sunshine day with the Brady Bunch.
No, that came later with the sowing the seeds of love. Because Songs from the Big Chair,
that's true. Yeah,
it has like this facade of happy, but like when you start like getting into it, it's kind of a heavy album.
You saying they're fat?
But no. Just nipped out in the bud right there.
Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, but then Sowing the Seeds of Love, like that, whatever that album is, like, was so
can we just establish that the song Mother's Talk is like their worst song ever? I can't believe that got popular. That is the awful song. I don't know why. It just grinds my nerves.
Dude,
grinds my gears.
And it's like this disco-y kind of, it's like, what are you guys doing? And I mean, that's not even a reinvention. It was just like they just threw this song together, and it's got this dun 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 and mothers, and you're like, well, what are you doing? You're from one.
You can't listen to that song as an individual song. You have to listen. Well, when it was on a record or a tape, that entire second side is like two songs, like Mother's Talk. God, I can't even remember all of them right now. But they all kind of blend in together.
I know.
So when you listen to it as a whole, Mother's Talk isn't bad. It's a movement within this piece. But yeah, as a standalone, Mother's Talk is not that great.
No, and it's actually kind of annoying.
But as a piece, because as a part of the whole, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know why that was ever a single off that.
Yeah,
I know.
Because Head Over Heels.
Well, now I'm just annoyed. Thanks, Brian.
Hey, sorry about that.
Dude, I'm just thinking about that song now. And I mean, I've always just kind of blown it off. But dude, yeah, it's a really, I've never liked the song, but now it's like even more annoying because I'm thinking about it and like, yeah, that song really sucks. Why do I even listen to it?
But now go back and listen to it as part of that whole second half of the album.
No.
Where it fits in. And depending on which release you have, what edit it is too. Super annoying.
Well,
took me forever to find the proper CD of the right.
Why did you even bother? This song sucks.
No, but the album's great. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite albums.
Okay, well, yeah, but then you had to keep searching for a less sucky version of a sucky song.
Less sucky edit.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
But what about?
Okay, so I've got another like two hilarious things that I just recently learned. Speaking of the music industry and whatever.
Okay.
So did you know that the song by MXS, that song Black and White, Give Me Clear Black and White, was co-written by John whatever from Hall & Oates. John Hall. Sorry, John Hall.
Seriously?
From Hall & Oates.
No,
totally seriously.
No, John Oates, Daryl Hall.
Okay. So whatever, the blonde guy.
Yeah,
he co-wrote it and sings backup on the song.
Serious?
Crazy.
And another song that he actually completely co-wrote that you guys will just die over is, the song, the song Electric Blue by Ice House.
Yeah.
Dude, it was a top 10 hit across the world. He co-wrote that one. He co-wrote that one.
Seriously, Daryl Hall?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, the dude's talented. I know that, and I know he's produced a lot of people too. But wow, and in excess of all things. I mean,
yeah,
because that was like one of their first hits, so they weren't even like big. That's what got them big.
Yeah.
So,
but the early stuff is really awesome, though. Like the stuff before they got big.
Oh yeah.
Like Hey Little Girl. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit of Ice House here in the background.
Oh
Matt, anything?
No, I'm looking at Wikipedia about him, and Electric Blue came out in the late '80s when I was absolutely not listening to radio.
Okay.
Well, I was 16, and I thought,
you were rebellious.
I know about music. I only listen to punk rock and hardcore, and that's it. Everything else, if it's on the radio, it's no good.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, you missed out.
I missed out on a lot of really good music, apparently, and I'm slowly learning about stuff. And
buy every Police album that you can. So there we go.
Well, I listen to the Police all the time. So. They are one of the greatest bands of all time.
Yes, and I mean, well, and talk about a band who reinvented themselves. Every album was, I mean, totally unique. Which, I mean, I think, it's funny because everybody just pretty much knows the Police from Zenyatta Mondatta, and you know what's so funny, and I know, Brian, I'm pretty sure you'll attest to this, like especially with women or girls back in that day, all they knew of they had no idea about Ghost in the Machine, but they knew about Zenyatta Mondatta,
Every Breath You Take,
and Synchronicity. Because of Every Breath You Take and Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic.
But those are both off of Synchronicity, aren't they?
No.
Everything She Does Is Magic is off of
Zenyatta Mondatta.
No, Ghost in the Machine.
No.
Yeah, Ghost in the Machine.
Oh, I know my Police, my friend. Oh wait, so do you.
Well, I don't have.
We're all looking it up on Wikipedia right now.
I'm
Now we hear the mad typing. I'm not the only one.
I think that they know Reggatta de Blanc and not Zenyatta Mondatta because of Message in a Bottle.
No, not Reggatta de Blanc.
Yeah, no, yeah, Reggatta de Blanc has Message in a Bottle.
Right. But
Zenyatta Mondatta is a great album, but nobody really has. Ghost in the Machine has Don't Stand Too Close to Me, and Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic.
Is it on? I thought it was on Zenyatta Mondatta. Well, okay, now what's on? Okay, now I got to Google Zenyatta Mondatta. And welcome to the Police Hour. We're all talking about the Police and how fantastic they are, and we want to hear your comments. So anytime you want to join in here on YouTube Live, feel free. Okay.
And that also has Don't Stand So Close to Me too, they claim. And da da.
Zenyatta Mondatta studio album by the Police. Okay, so Don't Stand So Close to Me, Driven to Tears, right there. Driven to Tears and When the World is Running Down. Everybody thought that was all one song, two songs. Okay. Canary in a Coal Mine, Voices Inside My Head, another great song. Okay, I guess just because I really like this album, I was hoping those songs were on there. But anyway, don't.
So did you know at the time? Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, Don't Stand So Close to Me is on that. I guess that's what I've been thinking of. So anyway.
Yeah. So at the time, when the world was running down, You Make the Best of What's Still Around was the longest pop song name out there. I'm pretty sure that is it Panic at the Disco that has the super long storyline song titles?
Yeah, they've
got sort of taken that over.
Ridiculously long. But so I heard somebody talking about. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's the name. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, how do you even remember that? They're like, well, and then they went into the explanation of why they remembered the name. I'm like, I didn't need to know all that. That's longer than the damn name of the song. So never mind.
Yeah.
So
but, okay, and then no, sorry. I was just thinking and I have to say this. So you're talking about how the Police reinvented themselves for every album. They grew, and and they explored more. And then Sting, after the Police, continued to do that to a point where I can't listen to him anymore. But
I agree with you there.
Yeah. He got a little too far.
Dream of the Blue Turtles and a couple of jazz albums were really good.
But yeah, Dream of the Blue Turtles I thought was a great album. I mean, all the way through. His version of Shadows in the
agree.
Rain. His version of Shadows in the Rain. Just blew me away. I was like, whoa, this is a kicking song.
I think that's better than the Police version.
Yes.
I think they both have their own
Well, and then if you heard qualities. There's this live jazz album that he did, and the version of Shadows in the Rain on that is even better, in my opinion. But
really,
I digress.
Well, then I will have to do some Googling once we're done here because I've got wires and cords and stuff everywhere. So.
Good Google.
Yeah. So, and then, dude, you can't take anything away from Stuart Copeland, who had Clark Kent. He did all sorts of soundtracks for like Rumblefish, and there was another movie, a couple of movies. Then he did the soundtrack for The Equalizer and some TV shows, and then he led the Seattle Symphony Orchestra. Andy Summers did all sorts of solo projects and studio things. Just Sting's the more pretty one and popular, and he's got that voice, And
the other guys,
the women's hearts,
did soundtracks. They didn't put out. Stuart Copeland put out an album, but
he put out like Clark Kent, his little side band, and then he also did Oysterhead with the bassist from Primus, Les Claypool.
But they didn't. It's really like niche genre.
Yeah. Oh, so they weren't popular.
Okay, so this album.
So now it's a popularity contest.
The Stings, "Bring On the Night."
Well, that's also a great
song. That's the one you got to look up.
Okay.
Which is also a really good, because side one, I'm looking at Wikipedia, of course. "Bring On the Night" runs into "When the world is running down, you make the best of what's still around."
Yes.
And it's an 11-minute plus beautiful thing.
Wow.
Oh, there's so much great stuff on that. It's really good. Just trust me. Not bad. Not bad.
On it.
I tell you, we probably ought to couch this Police thing for now, because what we really need to do is if we're going to do a Police thing, we really ought to invite Joff on here. Don't you think, Chris?
Who?
Jeff.
Oh, Folkerth?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
He is like he's like such a Police fan.
Yeah. Him and Adam Carvajal.
Adam too.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, that's I mean,
well, I think if we're gonna bring Adam on, let's just go to his house.
Right over in Hawaii.
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what a shame.
We'll do a live show from there. And I'll be in the same room so we can actually correspond with each other in real time. So
that would be awesome.
So yeah. Oh crap. All right. Sorry. I just realized the time. Dude. Yeah. Technical difficulties.
Well, I want to
drive me freaking nuts. So yeah, I've got like 5 minutes, and then we're gonna have to.
Well, I want to throw out a reinvented person for you.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, good one.
Yeah,
good one.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, no, he did.
Talk about dirty jokes to
family sitcoms.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, full on family sitcoms, and I mean, yeah, I think it's fantastic. But then again, there are the fails. people who try to reinvent themselves. You know, who did I think of the other day when this all popped? Oh, Andrew Dice Clay. Okay, first off, he just started out as like this, you know, this bit actor, and he was doing all these little different roles in movies and stuff. And he came up, him and I'm not sure if it was his agent or whatever, but they said, let's just be the most repulsive thing out there right now. And so he came up with that character, that Andrew Dice Clay character, and just blew up. I mean, people, it was, you know, and I mean, I hate to, and I'm not trying to be political or anything, but it's like the total Trump thing, you know, everybody just jumps in and goes, oh yeah, make America great again. And all the catchphrases and stuff. And that's all it is. It's just total lip service and flash in the pan stuff and things that get your attention and shock you. And then the next thing you know, boom. And then he was gone. Like as quick as he came in, gone. And, you know, and I actually talked with somebody about it at work, and they said, well, what about Sam Kinison? I said, Sam Kinison died. And I, you know, you talk about a guy who reinvented himself. Sam Kinison went from being a preacher's son and preaching gospel at, you know, Southern Baptist churches. And not even that. I think he was more, you know, like the healer kind. If I remember correctly, he was, you know, his parents had the, you know, like they would go and, you know, heal people and do that, all that, you know, this.
Oh yeah. He was, I think they were like Assemblies of God type people.
Yeah. Yes.
That's so crazy.
And then he just, you know, he went off and started doing his own thing, and his brother was still a preacher and kept praying for him and, you know, begging him to come back to the church. And he's like, nope. And he just went full bore.
But he's different than Andrew Dice Clay because it was more genuine, and he's smart.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely.
You know what I mean? There was an intelligence behind this.
Oh, Kinison was genius with what he did. I mean, seriously, he was genius, and he was quick. And I mean, he was one of those guys, you know, you could not heckle him. You could not heckle him at all because he would turn it. And then the rest of the show was about him tearing you apart. And I mean, I remember, it was, somebody started yelling somebody, and he just, and I guess I saw a video on this, and they said he was just having a bad night, and his timing was off, and this guy voiced up, and he lets into him, and he what was that? I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you were saying, you know. And he started talking about, and I'm not going to get into the graphics of it, but it was basically about something about, well, yeah, it got really rude, but I mean, he and just for basically the rest of the show, it was him tearing apart this guy. And it was just, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, and this was right as he was peaking. So this is not a small audience that they're in. He's in, you know, a major place. And, oh, dude, I mean, that would just send shivers to me. And it's a line I've actually used a couple of times in my past when I was doing stand-up. And I fully gave him credit for it after, you know, I'd get people like, you know, drunk people starting to heckle you and stuff. And I'd turn and I'd use the exact line on these people, and they'd be like, and I'm like, yeah, all right, Mr. Help, you want to keep going on? And, you know, there was a point about talking about shaving his mom's back, you know, when I'm done doing what I'm doing. And anyway, yeah. So, I want to talk about it. I want to say it, but it's pretty rude. And, I try not to do that anymore. So, you know, I'm going to be good. So anyway, God, it's so funny though. And okay. Yeah. So his basically I said, it was hard to understand. You sound like your mom gurgling my sperm after I get done, you know, going off on her. Anyway. So then this is already marked not for children. So we're safe on YouTube. and it just goes. It gets worse from there. Trust me. And if you don't think it can't get worse from there, and I mean, you guys have seen me in my heyday. I can go. So anyway, sorry, God. Okay. But yeah. And yeah, Eddie Murphy. And God, when you said that, I had something else pop in my head, but then we went off on the comedian, Sam Kinison. Anyway, so did I mention I get about 4 hours of sleep a night? Maybe sometimes. And,
you mentioned it to me.
Yeah. I drink a lot of coffee, and sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I'm just saying. So, all right. But so we're reinventing everything here, and you know, speaking of reinventing, I've been reinventing myself several different times, not only career wise. I mean, I started out in transportation, then left transportation for radio. Doing radio, I did stand-up comedy and improv. And then while I was doing that, I also learned restaurant and construction before that. And, you know, I reinvented myself so many different damn times. And I got no regrets against it, but, you know, it's something you do and it's something you learn. And I think the more we're able to adjust and reinvent, I think not only does it help us just emotionally, but spiritually, you're able to deal with a lot of things in your life that you can keep readjusting to, and because life is not a steady course.
Well, is it? I was going to say, is it so much reinvention or growth? Because I've worked kitchens, I've done construction, I've driven a cab, I was a movie theater manager. Like, I've done a lot, but I think it's still me.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is next chapter, learning something new and learning and moving along.
But it's a readjustment, I think. And you know, I don't know. I just think, I mean,
well, I mean, think about like this. You guys are going to kick out of this. Bring up one, LeVar Burton, right? The Reading Rainbow to Jerry LaForge.
Yeah. Yep. There you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Going from PBS to a nationally syndicated and constant on TV everywhere nerd show. I mean, man. And whoever really thought the next generation was going to take off? I mean, honestly. I mean, I think we're all...
I did, but I was...
The first couple of seasons, man, were rough.
Yeah, I was like, dude, this is just dumb. And because I, you know, I'm an old Star Trek fan. I miss Spock and Kirk, and but yeah, I mean, it took a while for that show to, you know, kind of get into me. And then yeah, like you said, after like the first season, I was like, yeah, I can kind of go with it. But I don't know if they just wore me down and I gave up or whatever. But it's not like I watched every episode and I couldn't tell you everybody's names and anything like that. I just know number one and, you know, Worf and Patrick Stewart. So, and who looks like Captain Stubing from The Love Boat in a weird British way. So there we go. And Ireland's off the chart again. All right. So, and hey, Ireland, hey, thanks for hanging in there with us, and Germany and Jamaica. Appreciate it. Love you. All right, I'm getting the red flag. So we've got to call it a day, damn it. And I'm sorry. And it took so long, and, hopefully I'll have everything dialed by Tuesday. So again, apologies for, past poor quality and this kind of poor quality in a way, but, oh yeah, let's just bring on Quiet Riot again. Why not? Oh God, I wish you guys could hear it because it sounds awesome. Again, only in my headphones though. So
I hear it in my head. It reminds me of I was working on a roof applying some kind of waterproofing loop on it, and listening to Z93, as a matter of fact.
Imagine that. I heard there was some awesome radio DJs on there.
Oh, back in the day, there used to be. And that song came on, and I hadn't heard that song since it's been forever, right? I don't listen to Quiet Riot, and it came on, and I turned it up, and by the end, I was like, "Oh my Lord, that's a great song." How did I not appreciate it for what it was at the time? Because they called it heavy metal, all that new metal that was coming out in the mid '80s and whatnot, early '80s. But it's not. That's a bar band that rocks.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's just good rock and roll. So,
well,
there's your reinventing yourself, and they stole their guitar player.
Well, that's true, yeah. And the bass player went to Ozzy Osbourne, so there you go.
No, the guitar player went to Ozzy.
Was it the guitar player?
Randy Rhoads.
Oh,
Randy Rhoads.
But then the bass player left too.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
The Rhoads.
Ouch.
Oh, yeah. So that's why I switched it up to Public Enemy. And we're fighting the power with Public Enemy. So there we go. All right, guys. Yeah. So I'm so glad you guys were able to make it on here just for a little bit. And again, my apologies for the delays and whatnot. But we will do it again Tuesday. And if you are available, I would love to have you tagging in with us, and we will continue this conversation. How's that? We'll just we'll reinvent the reinvention of the reinventing of the reinvention, and we'll go from there. And we'll enjoy it. We'll have fun, and we'll sound awesome because I should have the cables by then, hopefully. So, in fact, yeah.
What I'm looking forward to Monday when you call me and
say we need to test this out.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have to, and yeah, Brian, I'm probably gonna have to hit you up on a lunch hour or something and say, hey, because I want to try and get all three of us clipped in and see how well it sounds all together. So we'll have to coordinate a time where you're available.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, but guys, until then, I appreciate you and I love you, and glad we were all here. And everybody out there, thank you so much for listening. Germany, Ireland, Jamaica, U.S., Canada. I'm gonna throw you in there just because you're just north of us, and love you.
Are they listening?
Probably. Just they're doing it through Germany and
they
Jamaica. They could be just listening through a a Michigan kind of hookup or something.
Corner Gas is a hilarious show.
Well, there you go. See, and and so was Kids in the Hall. So,
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll have to do a show about Canadian TV and how much we love some of those shows, because there's only really one or two or three. But it is what it is. And Celine Dion. She is French Canadian. So, Elvis was a hero to most. But yeah. All right. So there was a bunch of rambling and randomness, and got kind of awkward there for a second. So, gonna sign off on that, guys. Thank you so much. See you guys Tuesday. Sound like a plan?
Sounds great. Talk to you then.
All right, guys.
I'll be here, I'm sure.
Everybody take care of each other. God loves you. Peace out.
Sounds good. Peace out.
Adios.
Boom.